Liz Morton with Dovecote Decor. We're excited to introduce Suzanne Kasler at the new Hickory Chair showroom at Market Square on the 3rd floor. So welcome to your new space, Suzanne.
Thank you. It's exciting to be here. So it's an interesting older building, and what we've done is we've kind of taken the architecture of the building and done a very neutral palette. I do a lot of neutrals anyway. I love how it shows off the furniture. Yes. And then a lot of times will do accent colors.
Right.
And in this room, my accent color is a very subtle pale blue with this beautiful light beige color and off-whites. So I've done a combination of the linens with slip covers, bone-colored linen for the Lee armless sofas. One of my favorite pieces is my Dalton library table, which could be a library table, a dining table. We did it this year in this beautiful mineral finish. And we have some beautiful new leathers. And we did the Auburn ottoman in this beautiful pale blue leather. So I think this whole kind of combination is very interesting.
What I want to spotlight that I think is so exciting is corners can be so difficult in houses, and this is a great way to add a dimension to a dining room or extra seating with a table in the middle.
Right.
And is this dining height?
You know, we just did this. This is the Lee armless sofa, and this, right now, it is not shown as dining height. And this is actually in one of my Chase end tables, which we love to use as kind of a coffee table.
Right.
Kind of that kind of, it's a very chic way to do a little taller. We just made the Lee armless in a dining height banquette. So you can raise it to the seat height. And we're seeing a lot of this look being done right now. Sectionals,
yes, I love it.
Wrapping the corners, and like you said, for both eating and in rooms.
Yes,
that kind of, it's kind of a trend we're seeing right now.
Okay.
And you'll see it throughout the showroom. And another trend that we are loving is the chaise. But a chaise that's not like necessarily in a bedroom. We've put these in entry foyers and a space in a big room that just kind of floats. And it almost acts like as a bench seating.
Right.
But it's really a great addition. And it's in the family of that Lee armless. It's the Lee chaise.
Right. Well, one of the questions I have is, what sort of tips do you have to create a neutral palette? I think it could be very blah if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, one of the things, I am known for mixing in lots of tone on tone, and then have accents of either color or artwork. But first of all, we always talk about getting the architecture and thinking about the architectural space. So in this room, we anchored it with this beautiful Belgian linen rug. And that is done in a really beautiful neutral. We ended up finding a brand new linen velvet fabric that is in the most beautiful light taupe color. And we basically did every piece of furniture in the same fabric. We then added the leather. They did some gorgeous leathers in these new colors that are grays and muted blues that really are very chic and kind of the moment. And because there's lots of interest in the different furniture pieces, it does have enough interest. We did tables in the walnut. We did tables in the birch. We have accents of black. And that is kind of a key part of mixing in a whole palette of neutrals. This room looks very rich and luxurious and more dressed up.
And I like this idea in a bedroom, this little trick here of just fabric panels. If you don't have art, but you have some pretty fabric to use, you can add excitement on the walls.
Well, we love this. This is a fabric by a company, Arena. It's a custom fabric, and it came through our office when we were working on the showroom, and we loved it so much with our palette. We ordered enough yarns to make panels that are more decorative and use them as wall art. And I think that they kind of bring in all the colors that we use in the room. So even though the room is subtle in its texturing, it does have a color range. It's just very, very tonal.
And that unites all the different color stories in the room.
Right.
Perfect.
We love doing the bench with the two colors so that you end up having the look of a stripe, but it's kind of more subtle. This is on the Frederica bench. I think that's a great detail.
I think it's also fun to see a bench with the dining chairs. It looks great and it warms it up.
So now we've come into another one of our spaces, and I think it's really interesting how we use the Prado bookcases with all the books on it and the big Piedmont table. A table can be used as a desk, not just for dining. What people are wanting to do today is use their furniture for more than one
People
use.
are downsizing.
Yes.
People have less space.
Yes.
People live in apartments.
And it's like great to either eat here, work here, just read the newspaper here. In this room, we found this really wonderful hickory chair ticking. It's beautiful, kind of a gray, and we used it on all the pieces of furniture. And even on the bedding, we did the headboard, we did the
That's
tape,
a beautiful detail.
and then see the tape, the white tape.
Yes.
And then on the bedspread, we did the ticking on the edge of the corner of the bedspread.
Pretty.
Which I think this kind of detail, people are loving these fashion details.
Yes.
And I always try to bring those kind of fashion details into my line.
Right.
And then look at the detail on the wing chair matches, in a way, that same detail that you see on the bed. That's one thing that Hickory Chair has done such a great job of, is when I wanted to bring in those couture details that we see so much in fashion to furniture, they have been able to do a beautiful job of that. And they're very subtle, but people really appreciate them.
It just looks finished and tailored.
Yes. So you can see how great it looks with the same fabric on all the pieces.
It does.
And then we ended up bringing in our accent, is this kind of darker taupey gray.
Yeah.
And gray and creams and whites are right now a color trend.
Yes.
Even though it's not a color.
Right.
But it is certainly one that we're all seeing, and this I think is a great way to see how it's used in a really, everyone has really responded.
I consider
loved
gray
it.
a pastel.
Yeah, and it really looks that way in
Yeah.
this environment.
Yes.
And then we did a lot of the white lacquer with it. I love how the white lacquer on my furniture changes it completely. And again, that's one of the exciting things that we do here, is we have so many different finishes.
Yeah, it doesn't have a high sheen.
Yeah. And then over here, we did the twin beds. I don't know if I showed in the other bed the leather headboard with
did.
the envelope
Yes.
stitching. And then this is the same bed in a twin with the slipcover. The detail, what people are liking, it's just the dressmaker details. It's like having a dress for the bed.
Right, but
And
it's
a
certainly
way of kind of
practical.
dressing, yes. And then my beautiful table that we did this time in lacquered. This is a dining table, but it really could be used as a center table,
Right.
a dining table. Again, that multitasking. Yeah,
And it's
great.
great
to have that multi-purpose again. And again, the beautiful leathers that we're bringing in that are kind of a whole new color palette. Really, that taupey brown that looks beautiful with all the whites and creams. The Monroe chair is done in all white. I just love mixing the birch, the white, the wood, the dark. And I think it's really exciting to see it in the new showroom. So everyone come visit us.